Welcome to Minister Ben Willis Blast Off Podcast. I'm your host, Minister Ben Willis. And before we get started, I would like you to subscribe to my channel. I'd like you to like, share, and make comments. And since we're talking about comments, I had some of my followers wanted me to comment on, they tell me I talk a lot about Chicago and the good parts of Chicago, and then they talked about some of the shootings and the killings. And so we're going to get involved in that. We're going to talk about that. That's what we're going to do today. But first and foremost, before anything, on my way here, I stopped at this restaurant called Portillo's. It's here in Chicago, and it could be in other cities also. And I was running in there real fast, and I got me a strawberry milkshake, which was fantastic. But they were making these hot dogs, these Chicago hot dogs, and making these charred hamburgers and cheeseburgers. I said, I got to go back there and get some of that. Now, and when I leave from doing this show, I am going to Portillo's, and I saw the menu. What they had was ribs and fries and Polish sausages and cheeseburgers and fish and chicken. I got to go. And the line was long, so I was just there fast enough to get a milkshake. So, again, I'm talking, that's a good part of Chicago is the food and everything that's here. And really, it is that. It's the food, it's the fashions, the clothes, museums, the arts, and things of that nature. That is part of this city and the dynamics of this city. But there is another part of this city, and the episode of this city is called The Flipside. And my guest that I have today is a young man who's very astute and very aware of what goes on here in Chicago, that knows a lot about the flip side of the city. His name is Mr. J. Mr. J, how you doing today? How are you this afternoon?
I'm doing great. I'm doing, I'm chilling. I'm chilling this evening. I don't get so many days that, first and foremost, as a black man that's trying to better himself, you don't get too many days where you get to actually relax. So I'm taking today to, relax and just reflect.
Okay, well, let's get on. I'm not going to sugarcoat this or anything because my show is based on one thing, and it's my motto. This show is uncut, unapologetic, straight with no chaser. That's just how I am. That's how I'm going to carry it. That's what this show is all about. I'm going to get right down to it because some of the people that follow me, they always talk about how I talk about Chicago and the great parts of Chicago and everything else. And I do. I mean, I love my city. I've been to New York. I've been to L.A., I've been to Miami, I've been to some of the nice cities, and they're okay. It's just the uniqueness that this city has. But they wanted me to address the tough part of the city, the violence in this city, it's the gang violence here in this city. There's a lot of killings. There's a lot of it's gang conflict, and people become the casualties of war. What I mean by that is now they're shooting children. They're shooting innocent people. Innocent people are dying because of their gang conflict. Now, here's the thing, because I remember, because I'm an old school guy, and so I know about when the gangs actually started. I was around then. Back then, it was a lot more control, and I had to say organized it was, because there's a thing called organized crime, and it was organized. There was no random shootings or nothing like that. In fact, they had to get permission. I mean, I'm going uncut about this. They had to get permission to go out and shoot someone. In other words, that came from a higher order from their chiefs to do that. And if they went out and started shooting and doing random shooting, they would be held accountable. The gang himself, the chief himself would call them and bring them in, and it could be consequences. So that didn't happen. That didn't happen. Now a lot of those chiefs are in the penitentiary now, doing life sentences and things of that nature. But so now what we have now is what's called cliques. Could you, Mr. J, could you elaborate on nowadays what they call cliques? What is that all about?
Well, Cliques ain't nothing but just, just probably a group of people, you know what I'm saying? And that's most of the time it's people that you know. So okay, it could consist of just you and a couple of your homies, a couple of your friends, and a couple of family members and things like that. And it's not necessarily, you know, y'all all have to be GD or BD or folks or lords. You don't have to be that. You can. A clique can consist of GDs, BDs, vice lords, foes. You know, the whole nine, moles, whatever. There's no more of that. The GDs gonna be with the GDs, the foes. It ain't too much of that no more. So now everything is now cliques instead of gangs. So they might go by a certain name, or one of their fallen homies, or whatever the case may be. Like, for example, they might call it, I don't know, J-Ro Block. You know what I'm saying? J-Ro could be one of the guys that had, passed away due to that violence.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what that is. That's really the gist of cliques.
Do you think it's organized?
No, it's not. But there's a reason why it's not organized. And in order for you to understand why it's not organized, you'll have to understand the whole concept of it.
Well, the thing here's the thing. Because I'm out here in the streets and I work with the youth. I'm in some of the toughest parts of the city, the Inglewood area and the North Lawndale area, which is some of the most violent areas in the city of Chicago. And I work with these young men on a regular basis. And I do see the mixture, just like you said. You had GDs and vice lords and stones together. This whole gang thing is together. So they're not governed under nothing. And that's where you have the random shootings and the random drive-bys. But here's the kicker. When they get arrested, and the only thing that's going to stop them from getting arrested is either they retire out of the gang culture or they get killed. But when they get arrested, they're going to the penitentiary. And this is what happens. They go right back under that organization. Those that was GDs, they go right there with them GDs and follow the laws of the GDs. Those that are vice lords, they go under that law of vice lord in the penitentiary. And those who are stones go right back into that, because the guys that are organizers, the ones who are the chiefs, they're there in the penitentiary. And you're not going to go in there and disrupt anything or disrupt any of those organizations. So what you're doing out there in the street, once you get locked up, you fall right back in line.
Well,
because that'll be a problem. And any new start, any of you come out of the street and try to new start something, they're going to crush you in the joint. They'll kill you in there.
Well, you got to understand this. A lot of the old heads and a lot of the top guys that used to be that end up being locked up. I mean, that's where they're at. And it's more about survival out here, right? What can you do for me? How can you benefit me? So in there, yeah, I'm a GD, you a GD, so I'm going to gravitate, and you're the one that's running stuff in here, so I'm going to gravitate towards you. You can maybe I ain't never been locked up. So one, you're going to be able to show me the ropes. Two, you're going to let me know, certain things that we do in here and blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. All right. So I'm going to gravitate. So I'm going to fall in line because it's about survival. Now once I get out, it's not about, it's still about what can you do for me.
Right.
So on the outside, you have these top guys who, these older top guys, the old heads, the ones who used to be running, and they like, that ain't how we do stuff, or that ain't how we used to do stuff. Well, that's the past.
Right.
You can't, how they feel, how people feeling out here is, you can't tell me that I can't avenge my brother that just got shot.
Sure. I get what you're saying, and you making a very strong point like that, because now, so you got people that are, once they get out, they're not governed under nothing. We're just going to do what we do. And what happens is the public becomes victim to this out of control, just I got guns and I'm going to shoot them because of this or because of that. I've seen some young guys that I know, and they're in a car, and they all in different organizations, and they laying back there and they playing the music, and they got the seats all dragged back so they can just lay back and lean, and they roll the window down. Hey, Pops, how you doing? I said, yeah, how you guys doing? Yeah, we all right. Now, I know they really grooving because, weed smoking and everything else. And one of them told me, I dropped one of them beans and we getting ready to go draw down on some of these guys. And the music is playing and it's bumping. And I'm saying, why y'all gonna do that? I mean, what is that for? Oh, we got to handle some of our business. And so when I looked at all the different organizations that were sitting in that car, I said, what kind of business is that? That's just y'all business. And how in the world are you going to avenge getting at somebody when you out of your mind, when you high as a kite? So now, with that being said, a little baby gets shot. Children get shot. Innocent people get shot because of nonsense like that. And when they get caught, as tough as they are out here with the gun, as soon as they get caught, they get right in there, right there in the police station, right there, and they tell on everybody. And they go lock up all of them. Because a lot of the majority of the people that's in the penitentiaries now in the state of Illinois are gang members. And they ain't in there because of good police work. What do you think about that?
Well, one, I want to address a couple of things.
Okay.
The first thing I want to address is, you said sometimes innocent people get shot. Now, in a sense, actually, yeah, I'm gonna say innocent people do get shot, because this is the thing. Your family member, sometimes your family can bring that danger around you.
I understand.
So I got family members I don't even kick it with. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm not about that.
Right.
Look, I ain't about that no more. I don't do that. That's not what I do. So therefore, I know what type of attention you draw.
Yes.
And I don't want to be in the crossfire of that. And a lot of times, they don't care. So if you my cousin and you just shot at this man while he was, let's say, I don't know, maybe he was taking his kids to go get ice cream or something, and you shot at him while he had his kids with him, let's just say you didn't hit him, you ain't hit the kids, you just shot up the car, whatever the case may be. Think he ain't gonna do the same thing? You think he gonna care about who you around?
But
you ain't care about who he was around.
But the thing that I'm talking about is the children. They don't have anything to do with that. They're innocent. And it's little girls getting headshots like it's mafia hits.
But they don't. But every action causes a reaction. So your family and the people and the company that you keep can put you in those situations. I hate to say it, but it's true. So, and when you see certain people and you like, man, why is it? It was a time where it was a bunch of kids getting hit.
They still
but if
are.
you don't know what was going on during that time, you would know. And that was between two guys, two gangs that was going on. And all that shooting was going on, and those kids was in a crossfire that getting hit. It's because the simple fact of your family and the company that you keep can bring danger to you. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's messed up because these kids, man. These kids.
This is the results of clicks.
These are the results. See, because it's not even clicks. You can't say, because there's some clicks that they have, they run how they run, but it's the individuals. Everything is really.
Wait a minute. I can't soft sell this because now we soft sell. I'm not gonna tap dance around it, okay? Because when you have people just being okay, well you're gonna shoot at me. Why the hell are you shooting at me? You shooting at me because of some gang stuff. These guys are not choir boys. These guys ain't clerks at Walgreens. These guys are hooked up in gangs. That's what it is. They're hooked up in that. And they're out there shooting, and they're renegades. That's all they're doing. They're doing it renegades, just like you said. Oh, you shot my cousin. Oh, well, you ain't shot nobody. You out there shooting, and you killing children. You shooting babies because of some conflict. Well, the thing is, like I said, when it was organized, you wouldn't even be sanctioned to go hit nobody on your own. You couldn't do that. So there wasn't no what's called collateral damage to children and innocent people. But right now, there's nothing. And like you said, the guys that are in there, when they come out, they don't have no control of what's going on now.
It's still cases back then where kids got hit. See, everybody plays a part in this, and no one wants to own up to it. Everybody plays a part in it. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to own up to it. It's easy to say, oh man, this person killed my child, but you also have the power to tell your kid. Now there's some cases where it's 100% unavoidable, and then there's times where you could have done things different. You could have said, "No, what? Look, he here, so I'm finna bounce. Me and my kids finna bounce." You know what I'm saying? Just because I know what type of attention and heat he brings.
Yes.
And even though that this is a family event, mm-hmm. I know that this nigga over here is running rampant in these streets.
Yeah. Yes. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, because this gets real interesting, because we're going to just open up a lot of inside codes of Chicago. And because we're getting ready to go, we're going into this here. Now, there's a thing in Chicago. We have separation in the city. You have the south side of Chicago, you have the west side of Chicago, and you have the north side of Chicago. Now, those people that live over, ain't no such thing called the east side. Now, I know I'm going to make some of the people mad that live that way, but let me tell y'all something. There's no such thing as the east side of Chicago. It's just the south side, the north side, and the west side. Those people that live east, they on the south side. So they might say it's southeast, and the people that live a little on the southwest, because the south side is the biggest part of the city of Chicago. Now, there is a little division between south side and west side. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
They don't even count they don't even count the north side. It's just a division between the south side and the west side. Even to the point to where there could be a little animosity. And that's historic in the city of Chicago. Right?
Oh yeah.
And then here's a crazy thing, even crazier than that. In the state of Illinois, Chicago is the biggest city in the state of Illinois. If you live in any outlying suburbs or live in the state of Illinois, and people try to represent, I'm from Chicago, and you live in Hazel Crest, you ain't from Chicago.
No, not at all.
And Chicagoans don't recognize it. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Everybody know Dwayne Wade. Yeah, Dwayne Wade, Miami Heat champion, first ballot Hall of Famer. Candace Parker just won the WNBA championship with the Chicago Sky. People call them Chicagoans. They not from Chicago. Candace is from Naperville, and Dwayne Wade is from Robbins, Illinois, and Naperville, Illinois. Now, those are the outlying suburbs of Chicago. And so the Chicagoans is not going to recognize anybody that lives in the Chicagoland area. They're not going to recognize you as a Chicagoan. And that's the truth, right? I had this guy tell me, I happened to be down in Champaign. I was down there in Champaign, Illinois. And it was this guy from Chicago. He was down there in Champaign too. And he was a vice lord from Chicago, but he lives down there in Champaign. You know, he says his girlfriend lives down there. And I happened to have been talking to him because I was down there in that area. And he came up to me and he said, Pops, this dude down here, he a renegade vice lord just like me. He gonna try to bring me up on charges. He said, I ain't recognizing him. Ain't no Champaign, Illinois vice lord gonna tell me what to do. I'm from Chicago. And this is what goes on here in this city. This city is the most unique city to me that's in the United States. They run their own way. People look at Boys in the Hood in the movie, Bloods, Crips. Ain't no Bloods and Crips in Chicago. Ain't no place for you. One of my guys told me, young fella told me, he was in the Cook County Jail. Cook County Jail is the jail here in Chicago, and those who are visitors, please don't do no crimes here in the city of Chicago, because if you do, you're going to Cook County Jail. And you do better going to the zoo, the Brookfield Zoo, than to go to Cook County Jail. But anyway, he says when they go to the county jail and you come in there, they ask you what gang affiliation are you? And then after that, then you go with your particular gang when you come into the Cook County Jail. Well, they say there's one guy came in, he said he was a Crip. He said everybody jumped up out their beds and looked like Crip. Ain't no Crips in Chicago. And so he said the guy came, and one of the guys that's a GD that was, one of the chiefs of the GDs, walked over to the guy in the Crips and told him, you're going to have to flip and become GD in here. Because GDs and Crips are cousins, because it came from Chicago. All right? And just like the Bloods came from Chicago with the Stones. That's a whole nother dynamic. But anyway, the guy said, no, I'm a Crip. I'm a Crip to my heart. I'm not flipping to no GD or nothing like that. And he said, next thing you know, all those GDs was putting on their shoes and putting on their gloves because they getting ready to bang this guy out. And when he saw that, well, he flipped GD. He said, he started, hey, folks. That's what he did. That's what goes on in this city. See, and if you don't understand that, for those people who are walking around being naive or just being stupid, are getting caught up because they just don't know. Am I right in saying that or not? Because you're a young man and unfortunately, these are your peers. Am I correct in saying so?
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah. That's why, you know, Chicago's just different, man. It's different. It comes with a different grit, you know. And if you're not from here, you can't come here and, you know, put on that, you know, try to front your move. You can't front your move here, you know.
Even the young ladies are like that too. Don't you think? Have you seen some young ladies that you don't want to cross? Have you seen any like that?
I personally know some young ladies that'll bust your head, and I'm talking about grown men. I've seen them take down grown men, run in their pockets, the whole nine. I'm talking about took your stuff, made you look like you a B, and
made him look like he's a bitch.
Yeah.
You say B, I say bitch. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm like, dang. She like, this how I get down.
It's the truth.
You know, so you know, if it's females like that, then come on, man. That shit, that you shouldn't when you come to Chicago, you should be on your best behavior.
Right.
So you can get in and get out.
Right.
You know.
That's right.
When you go into those areas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, that's you know.
Know somebody who could get you in and out. Get in and out. Don't stick around. I'm born and raised here, and there's areas that I won't even go to. I mean, I just won't even go there. And if I have to go there, I'm in and out quick. And your head is on the swivel. And that's just the way it is. I mean, that's just the way that is the tough and grimy part about this city. I love this city. I love everything about it. But some of my followers wanted me to talk about the tough part of this city. So no, we don't go and just say, I mean, even to the point of there's such a difference in our city that there's a way you do things on the south side and the way you do things on the west side and the way you do things on the north side. It's a whole different dynamic. You can see a person and say, oh yeah, you can live on the south side and you can see a person from the west side, you say, oh yeah, they from the west side. And you can see somebody from the person from the west side can see somebody from the south side and say, oh yeah, they from the south side. And you can see somebody from the north side and you say, oh yeah, they're from the north side. Am I right or wrong in saying that? You know, because people don't understand that.
You can pick them out through a lineup.
I know. You know, so the dynamic of this city is something. Yeah.
Yeah.
The way you move around, the way you dress, even the way I remember when I was younger, and you know, we just dancing. We go to parties and stuff like that. You could tell if a couple was from the west side because of the way they dance. And if we go to the west side and party, they would know we from the south side because of the way we dance. It was just different. I'm an athlete. I play basketball. I go on the west side and play ball on the west side, it's different. They have a different dynamic. It's amazing, but you gotta be born and raised and reared here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, man, and you know what? Every time I talk to you, you bring so much insight. And wow. And I just wanted people to understand, coming from a young male's point of view. And like you said, every day that you prepare yourself to be successful in life because you know the other part of it. You're not naive to the fact what's out here. And it prepares you in life. Don't you think that Chicago's the best teacher when it comes to dealing with everyday life?
Oh, hands down.
without a doubt. Because anything that you can imagine is here. Listen, I'll tell you this. If you wanted to look for an ostrich, there's somebody in this city that can get you an ostrich. You say, hey, Gus, I need an ostrich. You know where I can get one? Hold on, man. Get at me in about 3 hours. I have you one. That's how wild it is. You can find anything you want to find in this city. It don't make what time of day or night it is. If somebody had a hookup to get it for you. Even to the point that they had somebody dressed as an ostrich with fake feathers on. Well, Mr. J, it was really nice talking to you. And I want you to continue in your success in what you're doing. I thank you for being on my show. Again, it's always a pleasure. The time is gone by and it's gone so fast. Oh, and I want you to do this. Hey, when you get a chance, stop by Portillo's. They have it. I'm getting ready to go. When I leave here, I'm going there and get me a Chicago hot dog and fries. They have it, man.
Maybe 4 months, so I'm definitely craving some. So
that's a great thing. That's a great thing. So all the listeners that's out there, get a chance, stop by Portillo's. If you are not from Chicago, check around and see if you have a Portillo's in your neighborhood. You know, DoorDash or whatever the case, Uber Eats or something like that. I guarantee you, it is fine. It's fantastic. Mr. J, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Always.
I love to talk to you soon. Take care of your family. Stay out of trouble. You know, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. You know, it was nice talking to you. And thank you for my listeners for being here and watching. And please subscribe to my channel. I want you to like and share. Any comments, please leave comments. Mr. J, again, have a good weekend. Thank you. And to all the rest of you, thank you and see you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.